The requirements are to report via the 8K if you have a material adverse effect of a breach. And an adverse material impact is something that a shareholder would be concerned about that's going to impact the finances, the reporting, the profitability of the company, those type of things. Those are material adverse events.
Joining me today is Kevin Scott, a shareholder with Greenberg Traurig. Kevin, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Now, at the accounting committee meeting here at REITwise, you led a discussion on how companies can survive cyber incidents. What are some of the actions that companies can do today to be prepared if or when a cyber attack happens?
One of the most important things to do is to have an incident response plan. And an incident response plan is a document that lays out who the persons on your incident response team are, the contact information for them, maybe who's the secondary if they're on vacation when something happens. It'll have the contact information for your insurance carrier, your insurance policy number. If you have an attorney that's already been designated for your cyber breach response counsel. If you know who the vendors are you would turn to for assistance, has all of that contained in the document. Preferably you have, not only do you have it saved on a computer, but you have a printed copy of it someplace, because obviously cyber incidents may lock up your access to getting the document. That's probably the most important thing. And then after you have that, you want to practice it. It's called a tabletop exercise, where you go through an incident and make sure that everything is answered in your document. Most insurance carriers provide certain services and may even provide free tabletop training. So you want to look to your carrier as to what they provide at no cost to you. You want to take a look at your insurance policy to make sure it adequately covers your requirements for the size of your company, for potential ransomware or miswired funds and those type of things.
And the SEC added new guidance recently with respect to cybersecurity disclosures. What are those requirements, and how quickly do public companies need to notify investors?
Well, the requirements are to report via the 8K if you have a material adverse effect of a breach. And an adverse material impact is something that a shareholder would be concerned about that's going to impact the finances, the reporting, the profitability of the company, those type of things. Those are material adverse events. A lot of times, and those get reported under Section 1.05, which is required if there's a material impact. For non-material impacts, you have a phishing event. You have a business email compromise that was caught and nothing happened, and you want to report those. Those get reported under a separate section, and they're voluntary. For the material reporting, you have 4 business days within to report that. So that's important to know, and you need to, when an event happens, probably in addition to where did I put the incident response plan, is this a material impact? And if not, do we want to report it anyway as voluntary? And you have 4 business days.
And what are some of the costs that are associated with the breach?
Hopefully, most of those costs are going to be covered by your insurance policy. Another reason to review it and make sure that it covers it. But the costs would be retaining breach counsel, outside law firm that has expertise in cybersecurity events and can be that what's typically called a breach coach in guiding you through all the things that you have to do. You may have to do forensics, and so you may have to hire a computer forensic company. If information has been disclosed, personal information, employee information, maybe you've got tenant information, social security numbers, driver's licenses, bank account, all that type of information. You may have to notify those individuals, and there's a cost there. Additional costs, depending on what happens, business loss, if you're locked out of your computers, and so you've had business interruption, and those are costs that are also reimbursable if the policy covers it.
And is there anything that companies can or should be doing from an insurance perspective?
Review their policy and make sure they understand what it does and does not cover, and make sure they understand what you're obligated to do in case of an event, not only what your reporting requirements are, but just does it cover this scenario, and does it have the vendors or counsel that you want when you're negotiating a policy with the insurance carrier. If your firm, your counsel that you use for corporate work and everything else, if you like them and they have a cybersecurity practice, you may want to have them written into the policy so that you're able to use them as opposed to whatever counsel they offer you.